Hi everybody, welcome back to A Better Computer. My name is Matt, and please ignore the kind of new set design over here. This is temporary. I'm kind of working things out, making some changes around the office. But I wanted to talk today anyway about the HomePod, which Apple on Friday evening discontinued. Now, this is not the HomePod Mini, so if you just bought a HomePod Mini and you're like, this just came out a few months ago, you're discontinuing it already, that's not that one. It's the original HomePod. It's the $300 one that came out in 2017, and I'm sad to see it go. As an owner of two of them, I actually like the product quite a bit, but I can see why they got rid of it. And so I wanted to talk today, not specifically about what the HomePod did right or wrong, but about this idea in product development that we don't often talk about in the online discourse around products. And I wanted to kind of shine some light on today. So for those who don't know, I'm a product designer by day, which means my livelihood depends on me building products that people are willing to separate themselves from their money to get. So I am very invested in this process and I'm very in tune with it. I will say as well that me talking about it here is a lot easier than actually doing the work. Doing it is harder than critiquing it. And so I'm not saying I'm better than the designers at Apple or developers at Apple by any means. They have some of the best people in the world working there. This is just me commenting on this idea that is important to understand in the product development lifecycle, and that, like I said, doesn't get enough attention from most people when we talk about it online. And so what is this idea? The idea is that it's not just about building a product that's better, it's about building a product that's better in ways that people are going to be willing to spend money on the way you're doing it, right? And so I think about someone who wants to get into the toothpaste business, and they're like, I want to make toothpaste that tastes better than the other toothpaste on the market, and I'm going to spend a ton of money on making it that way, and it's going to be this really premium experience, and I'm going to charge 10 times what the competition is charging. And so when a customer goes into their local grocery store or drugstore or whatever, and they see a $3 tube of Crest toothpaste and a $30 tube of your toothpaste, and they look at them and they're like, I'm just going to get the Crest. Like, that's not a problem I have with toothpaste, is how it tastes, right? That's an example of a product that is built. It solves a problem. It does like all the things. Maybe it's built well. Maybe it does taste great. Maybe it does taste fantastic. But people just don't have that as a thing that they're willing to spend money on because they don't really have a huge problem with how toothpaste tastes today. And I think that's kind of what happens with a lot of products, is that maybe they're built well. Maybe they have tons of features. Like you look through the feature checklist and it checks all the boxes. It checks more than the competition. But maybe they're things that people don't actually want. Maybe there are things that don't actually move the needle. A great example of this I think of recently that just popped into head is there's this new phone, I'll try to leave it down here, that just came out that has like a microscope. They advertise it as a microscope camera on their camera system. This is cool, and it's getting lots of YouTube videos, right? And like I'm sure some people will think that's really snazzy and will buy the phone and use that and get some really cool pictures. But that's not really solving a problem that people have with their phones today, right? Or there's a very, very small niche that has that problem. And so that's great, and it gets headlines and everything, but like that's not a problem that's solved. It's not a problem. It's not a solution to a problem that people actually have with their phones. I think that happens a lot with products. And Apple doesn't have this happen a lot. They oftentimes are very good, and they know, like it's remarkable how often Apple products hit the mark. Like it's a testament to the company that they do this so well. But the HomePod just didn't do it. They leaned too much into audio quality. They didn't really I don't want to say they didn't understand the market, but they overestimated how much people were willing to spend on audio quality. And so while we can have these debates online about like, look at how good the HomePod sounds. It sounds incredible. Here's some spectrograms or whatever about like how great it is. People didn't care. People didn't care. They wanted a speaker where they could say, hey, whoever, play some music. And it would play music and it would fill their kitchen or their living room and it would be fine. And absolutely, people want it to sound good, but they weren't willing to spend $350, which compared to a lot of the other smart speakers on the market was kind of like that toothpaste example, 10 times more expensive than the competition. And even though it punched above its weight class and the sound quality was more in line with speakers that were hundreds of dollars more, people didn't care about that as much. And so they weren't willing to separate themselves from their money for the HomePod like they were many other products. And I think you see Apple course adjusting. Like they adjusted to make the HomePod Mini, which is a much less impressive sound quality device, but it is a better device overall, I think, because it solves the problems people have that they want these things to do better. smaller, fits more places. It has all the Siri stuff that they want, all the smart home stuff that they need, the ability to answer questions, all that good stuff. And it sounds good, and it sounds good, and it's at a price point that they're willing to pay. $100 is a lot easier to swallow with $350 or even $300 after they did the permanent discount a year or so ago. So yeah, I think that's the thing that we don't often think about. It's harder to think about because we don't really do the user research. Like, we just go online and we talk shit. That's really it. That's not really what product teams have to do. They have to consider, not only can we build it better, can we get more features in there, they also need to consider, if we do all that, will people care? And so that's a thing to always consider about these products, and to understand why some of them fail, even though they seem good on paper. So that's it for today. Hopefully this video was helpful in understanding a little bit about how product development works, and I will see you here next time on A Better Computer. Bye-bye.